So in this part 30, we are going to be talking about changing the background image of our application. So what do we mean? If I go to the dashboard here, you can see that this is a background image that came with nice admin template that we used to set up this application in part 1. But right now you can see that we need to actually change this background image to something that resembles a fleet management background. So how do you get a nice image? So basically, I think I put the image for this application somewhere. So if you go to Kind on the Genius, just type Kind on the Genius in Google. So if you go to possibly to GitHub, I think that should be fine. So if I go to, you see my GitHub is right here. So if you go to GitHub, you see my repositories here. So click on repository and simply go to this Fleet app, I think. So if you go to this Fleet app, it should be public, and go to SRC, main, resources, and go to static, and go to IMG. You see a whole lot of images right here. But the one we should be talking about is BG11. So if I click on BG11, you see that it opens up and you can see it right here. So we want to use this image, we will have to download this image and use it to set the background image of our application of FleetMS version 2. What you can do, which is what I'll do also after now, is to actually change, edit this image to indicate FleetMS version 2. But for now, I'm going to simply download this image. So I'm going to click on download and simply click on more tools and save pages, and I'm going to save it to my download folder, downloads, and I'm going to save it right there. Okay, so if I go to my download folder now, if I go to my download, you can see the background image here. So I'm going to simply copy this background image and use it in my application. So let me copy this image here. How do you actually use an image to replace an existing image? There are two ways you can do this. So one of them is find out the image that currently displays and simply overwrite it with another image of the same name. This method might be very good, and I think we can actually adopt this method. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the index page, which is the index page, and I'm going to locate the image that we want to overwrite. And if we find out the name, we are going to now name this new image we downloaded with the same name and then overwrite the existing image. So if I use Control F to search for IMG, I can see that. Okay, let's see. So we can see IMG BG1.jpg. That is the name of the image. How do I know? Because I see that the name is BG, and I automatically know that it refers to background. So what I can do now is possibly I think this will be easier for me to just change it to BG11. Okay, so instead of overwriting, let's just change the name, just in case we can use it again. We don't have to lose any image that is in our directory. So the question is, where is this image located? This image is located in the static folder, in a folder called IMG. If I go to my static folder here, I go to IMG, you can see that we have BG1. Now, if I refresh this application, it's not going to show the background image anymore because I've renamed it to BG11, whereas the BG11 image is not already there. So let's see that it's working. Let's see that the image disappears for now because we've changed the name. And then when we add the image we want to use, then it's going to come back. So let's come here. If we go here and then refresh this page, you can see that the image has disappeared because we renamed it. So I'm going to go to this image and copy this BG11.jpg. So let me copy it. And if I go back to this place, you can see that we have JPG here, but we actually have it as JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to go to image here and simply paste. So I'm pasting, right? So yes, add. And you can see that we have added this new background image onto the img folder in our application, okay? So let's just check if it works. So I'm going to refresh or restart this application, and let's see that this background image actually changed. So let's go back to the page and then let's refresh it and see if it changed. And now actually it doesn't work. So let me come here and hit the enter key. It doesn't work. So let's go check where the problem is coming from. So we have bg11.jpg. So let me just check one more time. Okay, so I'm going to stop the application. So one thing I can do, first I'm going to change back this to JPG, and I'm going to rename this. I'm going to refactor it and rename it to bg11.jpg. This is the debugging procedure I'm showing you. So I'm going to double click just to make sure that this image is available in our application. And I'm going to now come to FleetMS version 2 right here. I'm going to right click on it and click on reload from disk. Reload from disk is going to more or less like remove certain objects from the cache and reload it again onto the class path or into the memory. And at this point, I'm going to click on File, Save All. So this is more like the troubleshooting procedure. And I'm going to now rerun this application. And one thing you notice I did was I didn't click restart the application, but I did click on stop the application and run the application again. So this is something you also need to bear in mind. And now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to come here and hit the enter key. And you can see now that the image displays. But normally if you don't have some debugging skills, you may be complaining, why is my image not showing? Why is my image not showing? Meanwhile, the image is there, but it's not showing because you don't have any debugging skills. And these are basic skills a programmer should have. For instance, instead of doing restart, you simply do a full shutdown and startup, okay? And you have to do reload or something. And now we have our background image. So the next step, we are going to be now setting up the home card for all the modules. So let's do that in part 31. I would like to thank you for viewing. Please remember to subscribe, and also if you have any challenges whatsoever, please do leave me a comment to let me know what challenges you have, and I'm going to respond to you. I remain Kind on the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.